Assalamu alaikum. With all this talk recently about what is termed the Abrahamic faiths and the attempt to blend Judaism, Christianity, and Islam into one universal religion, this has prompted me to consider a small booklet that I had published over 20 years ago in Cairo and has been distributed all over the world since then. Here it is. It's a small 40-page booklet called Stop and Think. And it was published in Cairo by the Sunni printers here. And it has some very brief, you can say, introductory principles of tawheed. And I thought, rather than give my opinion about this idea of blending religions, I'll tell you about this book. It is a translation of a very famous judge who collected the verses in Quran. Actually, he's from Qatar. He's long gone. We should give him credit, but right now, let's just begin with the verses. And I'm going to make these videos very brief so that you can digest them, and they'll only be in English. And that's for purposes of facilitating it to those of you who want to take notes so that you can really understand and decide for yourself if this idea of Abrahamic oneness is correct. So let us begin now. In Surah Tur, in verse 35, Allah asks the question, were they created from nothing, or are they the creators? The answer is also found in the Quran, in Surah Az-Zumar, verse 64. Allah created everything, and He is the protector of everything. There's proof in the Quran that even the non-believers admitted this, as we find in Surah Luqman, verse 25. If you ask them who created the skies and the earth, they will say Allah. Say, praise Allah, yet most of them don't know. In another verse, Allah further reveals Himself to us. In Surah Yunus, verse 31, we read, say, who provides for you from the skies and earth? Who controls your hearing and sight? Who brings forth life from death and death from life? And who arranges all the affairs? They will say Allah. Then say, won't you take heed and obey? In another verse, the same admission is found in Surah Zukhruf, verse 9. And if you ask them, who created the heavens and earth? They will say, the mighty, knowing one has created them. The problem is that after they admit this, they proceed to associate others in their worship. They equalize others with Allah in some things, such as love and submission, all the while maintaining His creation from nothing and His dominion over everything. In order to enter Islam, it is not enough to recognize Allah as the creator and sustainer of everything. You and your property will not be protected by Allah in this life, nor will you be kept from the hellfire, unless you add the concept of the unity of Allah's lordship over His creation. This idea is called tawheed al-uluhiyyah. You must specify Allah only in your prayers and forms of worship. Allah deserves this from His servants, as He has no equal. The Prophet Muhammad came to his people with this aspect of tawheed in the 7th century Common Era, while many already believed in the tawheed of rububiyyah. The tawheed of rububiyyah in the Quran, Allah tells us of Prophet Nuh. And certainly we sent Noah to his people. Surely I'm a warner to you to serve none but Allah. I fear for you the chastisement of a painful day. Surah Hud, verse 25 and 26. And Allah goes on to say that the Prophet Hud repeated this call to his people, Ad. And to Ad, we sent their brother Hud. He said, O my people, serve Allah, and you will have no other God. Pardon the word, but it means like a ruler of everything. We say Allah, but I translate it. You are only inventing lies. And this is in Surah Hud, verse 50. And to the Thamud, their brother Salih, he said, O my people, serve Allah. You have no other God except Him. Surah Hud, verse 61. And Allah informs us again of Prophet Shu'aib, and to Midian, their brother Shu'aib, with the exact words, O my people, serve Allah. You have no other God, but I don't like to use it, but I have to because, did you know, I should just call it the G word. You know, that word is far too taking place of the word Allah. So that's why I say I don't like to use it, but I don't know. This was published over 20 years ago, and I was told by people, just put God, because that's the only thing they can understand. Well, no, it can't be the only thing you can understand, because the word Allah, we testified in Arabic before we were born. La ilaha illallah. Yes, we did, all of us, every single human being. It's an instinct. It's a fitra. I don't know, the sun is shining on me. It's just, I'm so inept. I'm so technologically inept, and I admit it. It's bothering me. It must be bothering you too, but we're almost finished with this brief lesson, and then I'll go on and tell you more from this little booklet. Allah also tells us about Moses and Pharaoh. Pharaoh said, "And what is this Lord of the universe?" Moses replied, "The Lord of the heavens and earth, and what is between them, if you would be sure." And that is in Surah Shura, verse 23 and 24. And Jesus also said, "Surely Allah is my Lord and your Lord, so worship Him. That is the straight path." And that is in Surah Al-Imran, verse 50. Allah ordered the last of His prophets to say the same thing. O my people, worship your Lord who created you and those before you, so that you may guard against evil. Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 21. All the prophets called for the worship of one and turn away from the worship of idols, whether they be carved statues or beings or institutions. So that's the first little lesson, 10 minutes, not even, 9 minutes. And I'll be trying to finish this small booklet because this is a special month, the month of Shaban, and we'll all be fasting tomorrow and the next day because there's still some confusion. You know, this lunar calendar and so many different opinions, so be on the safe side and fast both days, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.